it's me, Renee. I'm back, and in a few recent interviews, I've seen Ben Barnes talk about how much he kind of wants to do a rom-com, just kind of straight up rom-com. I mean, he's played love interest in different things, but he hasn't really. He's played played in rom-coms before, but he hasn't played in rom-coms in recent years. And I kind of thought, yeah, seeing a rom-com would be fun. So here is my video for things I think Ben Barnes should play in. Of course, this being mainly a booktube channel, I'm having lots of books here I can think can be adapted, and he can play the main love interest, or love interest, or side protagonist. I mean, sometimes the two protagonists are equally important. And I also have some thoughts on just kind of, in general, things I would kind of think to see him in. Just kind of random things, really. So, yeah, this is me just putting it out there. So, if someone Googles Ben Barnes rom-coms, I might see this video. And maybe, I don't know, Spielberg's or Richard Curtis, or someone finds it and think, that person in the video has a good idea. You're welcome. So we're going to start, as usual, randomly, but we're going to start with To Have and to Hoax. So this is a historical rom-com. It's very funny, but it's funny. I would say it's mostly funny and romantic. Well, yeah, I would say anyway it's more funny than romantic. But yeah, it's just great characters. It's set in the past, but it's not like yeah, it's kind of one of those modern historical rom-coms where it's like very funny, but it doesn't really feel. It's not heavy in the historical aspects. It's not like you don't have a war going on, and there's no like a lot of stuff around that. But the setting is historical, and it's just very funny. And yeah, I think just having this adapted and having Ben Barnes play it, I think that would work very well. Some of these kind of, well, I suppose sadly often roles in like rom-coms in general, they're often kind of meant, like the idea is to like have people in their 20s, 30s. Ben Barnes just turned 40, 41, 40. But honestly, I think he looks younger than that. I think he looks like 30, 29, I would say. So I think he can still pull off younger. And also some, I mean, it's not like all roles where the character has to be 29 or 30. They can be older as well. And yeah. Anyway, here are my gonna just a little side note there. But yeah, and then let's continue. Then we have Where Have All the Boys Gone? By Jenny Colgan. This came out in like 2001, so it's a bit of an older book. But it's about two friends who kind of are tired of the dating scene in London. They feel like everyone they meet either are secretly married, like they kind of they're out dating, but they have a wife, or they're gay, or they're uninteresting. Like there's no good men in London, so they kind of end up. I don't remember how it happened, but they end up going to Scotland, and yeah, they both find husbands there, and so it turns out Scotland and Scottish Highlands have a lot of men. That's good, and London is just full of females, and yeah, it's a fun little story, and yeah, and then we have. Okay, so this is a bit different, but yeah, I'm just kind of showing you to like placeholder. But in this series, A Murder Most Unladylike, or Wilson Wong, if you're American, you have, okay, so this is a middle grade series. Well, I keep calling it middle grade. It's one of those series that, like, each books they get older, but it starts middle grade. I would say it's middle grade-ish. Anyway, and so it focuses on two teens, early teens, and then they become older, and yeah. But there's a periphery character in this one, so if this ever gets adapted, I think that blah 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 blah. I'm just blanking out on a name, so I'm just gonna check a name here. Blah 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 blah. God, this is annoying. Okay, anyway, there's uncle in this series. Uncle Peter? I think he's called Uncle Peter. Shoot me if it's wrong, or just be mad at me. But yeah, it's uncle in this series. He works for MI5, and he's one of those. He's been described as he could be anything from 25 to 40. I mean, he kind of has one of those looks that you can't really tell his age. And yeah, I would say also that works from Ben really. He has a ageless looks. You can't really say he's 29 or he's 41. It's kind of yeah, he has a good look with him. And yeah, even I suppose you could maybe if you have like a strict eye, maybe you could see that he's 40-ish, but I don't really think you can tell he's 41. Some people can look at people and say like, "You're that age." They have the age exact. Like, how do you do that? Like, I can understand people saying like, "You're older than that, or between that and that," but you're saying exact age. Like, how would you do that? I mean, do you count the wrinkles they have? Or what? Anyway, anyway, yeah. So the uncle in this series, I think Ben Barnes will be a cool fit for. Then we have Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade. Came out last year. Big hit. I'm one of the people who loved it very much. And yeah, this is all about fan culture, but also romance. And since Ben Barnes has been in a lot of big franchises, he's been in Daredevil. Daredevil? He was in one of those MCU TV series. He's now Shadow and Bone. He used to be in Narnia. He's been in a lot of those big thingy. So him playing an actor, playing in a big thingy would kind of be fun and meta. But also, yeah, this character is also just lovely and nice. And yeah, I mean, also because like it's like he said like he kind of wanted to like play not a villain but like a rom com and just a nice, sweet guy, cute, sweet guy. So that's kind of, I suppose you have some rom coms where like the love interest is kind of like broody and bad boy, and then he ends up opening up. But like the stories I'm focusing on are the cute, lovely boys from the get go. And then we have a Christmas gift. I have it in Norwegian, but yeah. So in this one, there's some journalists from yeah, some journalists from the UK go to Norway because every year Norway gives a Christmas tree to London because the English helped out during the Second World War. So it's kind of a tradition as a thank you every year. This year we're getting a lot of bad publicity because the tree looks bad this year. So I think maybe they're getting a new tree. But anyway, and yeah, so this is just a really nice rom com slash. I would say it's just not exactly rom com. It's more like there's a romance in it, but it's also slightly a mystery, and then yeah, it's kind of a mix of things. I would say, and yeah, I think having Ben Barnes playing one of these roles, well, probably more like the main love interest, could be cool. Also, the main love interest in this one actually is half Norwegian. I think he wants to try to understand Norwegians when we say stuff, like in the book. I don't really quite remember if it talks Norwegian, but that could be interesting because, at my knowledge, I don't think Ben Barnes knows Norwegian at this point in time. And learning Norwegian is actually not that um, easy, really. I suppose if you could just learn a few lines, it's not impossible. But yeah, I suppose that would be a challenge for him. So hopefully, if that's included, I suppose maybe they kind of want to up that part of the character. If that's included, I really hope he gets a good Norwegian teacher because there's been elements of really bad ones out there, and then elements of really good ones. So yeah. Then we have Haunted Heroine or Assassin for the Heroine Complex series. So in this one, I'm kind of thinking it could be blah 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 blah. Give me a moment. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, he can play Nate, which is love interest to Evie. And Nate is just such a cinnamon guy. He's just so lovely and nice. And then he has a dark secret, but it's not like a dark shady secret. It's just kind of yeah, it's a dark secret anyway. And yeah, he is just a great character. And I think it will be a fun series and a fun product for Ben Barnes to be in. And yeah, this one, this series. And then we have a Shambling Guide to New York City. So this one actually I haven't read it in quite a few years now, but I do quite well remember this. I think there's at least a slight romance in it. Anyway, this is a good story anyway. And I think having Ben Barnes playing in this adaptation of this would be fun. And yeah, honestly, I don't remember that much from it, but I do remember it being very good. Yeah, I should reread this series, at least this book. Yeah, yeah, I'm an idiot. But yeah, and then we have two books that kind of go together: the Life's Too Short and Happily Ever After playlist. So they're romances set in the same universe. They collide. They connect in some ways, but they're standalones in other ways. And yeah, I think either one of these could be fun for Ben Barnes to play in. Though if he plays in this one, he has to sing, and he has a great singing voice. So I suppose that could be fun. That would, yeah, work well. And then I also actually have some ideas to like stuff that's not book based. Well, not like book based from the get go. Just give me a little moment. Blah 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Have you seen a lot of Ben Barnes movies? Have you any thoughts? There. Yeah. And then kind of in general, I think if ever there was talks about this before, but then they kind of didn't happen. But like if they ever would adapt the Head of World series by Meg Cabot, I'm thinking that Ben Barnes could definitely play Cooper in that series because Cooper is just he's the best. He's just so lovely, and yeah, he's he has the best heart and he's just amazing. And yeah, I think that will be quite nice. A great project for him, I'm thinking. And then also Sophie Kinsella. Sophie Kinsella, at this point in time, she's only had two books being made to movies, though a lot of them have been talks. I'm thinking that kind of more or less any of them could be adapted, though, yeah, as far as, well, these two that have been adapted at this point in time are kind of, eh. But, like, with the right people, they could be amazing because the books are quite cute and funny and so funny and amazing. And, yeah. I'm thinking, like, for example, I've Got Your Number. I think Ben Barnes could be a cool one in that adaptation. And yeah, I thought I had more here. I didn't. Sorry. But I'm also thinking like maybe Ben Barnes doing. He talked a bit also in a video about maybe playing in a Jane Austen adaptation, maybe playing Mr. Knightley or yeah, what have you. I'm thinking maybe if they kind of did a Jane Austen retelling because they're also like yeah, Jane Austen adaptations happen more or less every year or something in some way or another, like either on Hallmark or something big. But there's also lots of retellings in book forms, and then they adapted or just kind of directly. So I'm thinking kind of yeah, a Jane Austen retelling with Ben Barnes, and it could be cool. For example, Jane in Love, which I read earlier this year. I didn't like the ending at all, but I liked the main concept of the book, which is Jane Austen gets transported uh, to 2012 in England, so our time, and she's yeah trying to get back and things happen. So I'm thinking, and often with adaptation you kind of change things. So I think like with small changes, I think that the story could be fun, very fun to be adapted. So I'm thinking that could be yeah very fun indeed. And yeah, that's my thoughts on Ben Barnes' dream projects. If you have any thoughts, do you like Ben Barnes? Do you not? Do you like any of these books? And yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye.